Have you ever said yes to something you knew very well you should have said no? What story are you writing? And if you've already messed up, you have written a wrong story, how can you then rewrite that story? Honoring your highest self. Like, who are you? Yesterday when we talked, I asked you, for those who are here, I asked you to go and take your baby picture. Ile picha yako ukiwa mtoto. Hako katoto kadogo kamefika duniani. Hako katoto hakana doubts. Hako katoto hakana fears. Hizo tulikuwa tunaambiwa asubuhi, hakana fears. Who are you when you came on earth? Watoto ni kama computer, the hardware. Wakifika duniani, they are clean. Has any one of us interacted with a new computer? Clean. Haina program, haina Windows, nothing. So tunaanza kukua programmed. Tunaanza kuwekwa programs ndani yetu. And so, I just want us to think. Have you ever felt that you're living someone else's life? Maisha unaishi sio yako. Or holding back from the best version of yourself? Have you ever felt like the life I am living is not really my life? Imagine yourself standing before a mirror. And that mirror has the ability to show you your perfect version. It shows you your values, shows you your purpose, and ask yourself, am I living that person? Am I living that true version? Because unless we are honoring that true version of ourselves, we can't be happy. We can fake it, we can fake and try to be like somebody else, but we will be unhappy. I'll give you an example. Mimi nilisoma. I went to school, and being a firstborn, you are expected to be a role model. And so, unaambiwa wenzako wanakuangalia. And I thank God for my family too, just like Mercy said, a pastor's family, and that would tell us things. But then, when I was growing up, Dad used to tell us that yeye ni psychologist. Wanasomea hiyo psychology huko kwa theology. And so he had this thing where he would look at you and tell you, ninaona vile unafikiria. I don't know if it was always true. So I admired that. I wanted to do psychology. I wanted to read. Nilikuwa nataka nikisimama hapa nikiwaangalia hivi, ninawasoma. So that's what I wanted. But then, when I finished high school, and you go to advisors, so wale watu advise which career to take, wakaniambia back then, that was 2002, wakaniambia psychology haina kazi, psychology haina pesa. JAB, that is the placement for universities, had placed me in agriculture. I had not done even agriculture in high school. So nikashindwa, how did I land in this agriculture? So I went to campus because I've been told, unajua, agriculture is our mainstay as a country, so utapata kazi and all that. But that first lecture was a horrible, painful lecture because I was just wondering. Kwanza huyo lecturer made one mistake. Akasema ati, from now henceforth, your title is farmers. Oh my goodness. Sasa mimi badala niitwe daktari, psychologist, engineer, nakuwa naitwa farmer. And actually I am one because that's what I did. But I I worked for 14 years in 3 different organizations, but I was not happy. And when I was working, I realized people would come to me for advice. People would come to me for, I was that shoulder to lean on. And that's why when I realized, ile childhood dream ya psychology bado iko na mimi. But for many years, I would go to work and I'm not happy. And so why am I telling us this? At that point in my life, I was not fulfilling my true purpose. And so your choices will determine whether you thrive or whether you survive. Choosing to honor your highest self, that baby you that fell on earth, before you were told things that made you lose belief in yourself, before you started knowing how to fear, because no one taught us how to fear. You see, like that child there, I'm sure the rest of us are more fearful than yeye. Ukimwambia kuja asimame hapa, chances are atakimbia. But the rest of us will fear. So what does it mean to live your highest self? So your highest self is who you are at your core. When you're fearless, you're compassionate, and you're fully aligned to your purpose. Who you are before corruption, your mind is corrupted. That's your highest self. And this version of you acts with love, integrity, courage, and purpose. You're not afraid. Integrity is being true to yourself. Integrity is when, they say mostly doing things when what you do when no one is watching. But I again want to say is being true to yourself and knowing exactly this is what I want to do, this is where I want to be, and you're true to that. But the contrast, when you're not living to the true version of you, you're living, you have society pressure, fear, self-doubt, they are pressing you. You are afraid. You doubt yourself. You say today, I want to do this, and then you doubt yourself. That is the contract, and that's where many of us live. We are not even sure who exactly we want to be. And when you are detached from your true self, these are the things that you will experience. One, you feel lost. Hata ukiwa na achievements, you feel very lost. And that was me for a very long time, feeling so lost. I'm there, I'm working, but I'm feeling lost. You also live based on societal expectations, what people expect of you. And like Mercy was saying, social media. You go to Instagram in the morning, unaona mtu amepost breakfast alikula, ujui hata alitoa wapi hiyo picha, wewe umekula ngwashi na ndoma, you are stressed, not knowing that actually ngwashes and ndomas are healthier and good for your body. And then you get stressed. You're pretending to fit in the crowd. You ignore your dreams. You think they are unrealistic. That was me. I should have pursued my dream. I should have pursued that psychology. I shouldn't have gone to look for voices to actually tell me this is what you should do and this is what you should not do. But that's what I did because that's what I knew best then. And so, which friends are you hanging around with? Mercy has talked to us the way she hung around friends. She knew, of course she knew this is the wrong group to click with, but are you here and your friends are, that kind, you know very well that this is not where I'm supposed to be, but you're still there. And how do you know that you are actually not where you are supposed to be? How do you know you are betraying that highest self? Let me ask you, have you ever said yes to something you knew very well you should have said no? Have you ever said yes? Somebody told you, let's go somewhere, you said yes. But you knew very well, no, I should have said no. Most of us do that. Have you ever shrinked yourself to fit in a certain group? That happens especially to us women. You shrink yourself because you want to fit in a certain group. Now, did you know that no is a complete sentence? No is a complete sentence. Now, most of us, when you're told, I don't know if there is a Devi here, but let me use that name. Devi, let's go to a certain place, to a club, and somewhere you're not supposed to be. You start looking for reasons why you should explain. Unajua leo mama atakuwa home, and you explain yourself a lot. Let me tell you today, if you don't remember anything else, remember this. No is a complete sentence. If somebody tells you something you don't agree with, say no. You don't owe anyone an explanation, as long as you're sticking to your true self. And when you do that, most of the time you find yourself being happy. I just want to read a scripture, thank you, of some young men. That is Daniel chapter 1. Daniel chapter 1. I won't read the whole of it because of time. From verse 8. This is a story where the king of Babylon had taken Israelites captive. And so he took some young men to come and serve him in the palace. And the Bible says from verse 8, but Daniel resolved not to defile himself with royal food. With royal food and wine. He asked the chief officials for permission not to defile himself in any way. Now God had caused the officials to show favor and sympathy to Daniel. But the official told Daniel, I'm afraid. You see, this is a person who is afraid. I'm afraid of my Lord the King, who has assigned your food and drink. So these people are supposed to eat choice wine and choice food. But Daniel was here convincing the person who was taking care of them for them to just eat vegetables. They didn't want to eat that so that they don't defile themselves. And going to verse 15, it says, and at the end of the 10 days, they looked healthier, better, nourished than any of the young men who ate the royal food. Think about that. They made a choice honoring who they are. They knew what they stand for. They knew their God. They knew what exactly they wanted to achieve, and so they said no. They said no. How many of us would actually say no? Umeambiwa sasa ukule ile food ya king. How many of us would say no? Most of us would say yes, and he's saying samosa and mandazis, and actually yesterday sausages, all that, and he sold all of them. So, how many of us would actually say, do not take it? I will stick to what I believe is right for me. Another scripture in Genesis 39, this is actually one of my favorites. This is Joseph. This young man, I just love the favor of God that goes with him. That everywhere he goes, be it in prison, be it in Potiphar's house, be it in the palace, the favor of God is with him. And it didn't just come like that. This guy knew his stand in God. And that is why we need to know, who are we? What is that highest self that we need to stand for? Yes. And so from verse 2 it says, the Lord was with Joseph, he prospered, and he lived in the house of the Egyptian master. When his master saw that the Lord was with him, and the Lord gave him success in everything he did. Joseph found favor in his eyes and became the attendant. And then from verse 6b, it says, now Joseph was well built. Somebody say well built. Iko mtu kwangu anasema kuna six pack, sitamtaja, and handsome. And after a while, his master's wife took notice of him, of Joseph, and said, come to bed with me. But he refused. With me in charge, he told her, my master does not concern himself with anything in the house. Everything he owns, he has entrusted to my care. No one else is greater in this house than I am. My master has withheld nothing from me except you because you are his wife. How could I do such a wicked thing and sin against God? Now, uko kwa nyumba ya Potiphar, this is a king's official. And the wife has been eyeing you. Now you know that ukitoka hapo, you will lose it. How many of us will say, how can I do such a thing and offend my God? Most of us will say, unajua nitashikwa. Unajua, mama yangu, unajua I'll get pregnant, unajua all those things. Yes, all those things are reasons, but they are not main reasons. Our main reason for avoiding sin or avoiding some kinds of life is because we honor our God. It's because we know who we are in God. And so, if you're this person who suffers from chronic self-doubt, negative talk, we talked about that yesterday. How do you talk to yourself? Do you tell yourself, I am useless? I am good for nothing. I have failed. I cannot be redeemed. Hata ile damu ya Yesu alimwaga yote, hata ikiletwa hapa yote, yezi niosha, ifaulu, I can't. Because I have sinned, I have fallen so far from the grace of God. Do you feel like you're chasing goals that don't excite you? Whatever you're chasing after is not even what you are here on earth to do. Do you fear being judged? This is very common. People fear being judged. You feel stuck, you feel unmotivated, you feel uninspired. You compare yourself to others. And this is commonly on social media because we want to, we live in a time where kitambo, when you woke up, your only audience was your family. But sahizi, billions of people can just watch you ukiwa tu hapa on social media. You are exposed to the whole world just through social media. And so our brains can't even handle that. We were created to handle just a few people around us. But now, we have so much to handle. And then, like we said yesterday, we wake up in the morning and the first thing in our hands is our phones. We want to know what is a certain celeb saying, how are they dressed today, and then it gives you a lot of pressure. So who are you comparing yourself with? And yesterday we said, I think that was in the girls section, we said, the best person you can compare yourself with is the person you are yesterday. Don't compare with anyone else. Okay. Yeah, don't compare with anyone else. Compare with the version you were yesterday. Who was I yesterday? And who am I today? And who do I dream of becoming tomorrow? Are you afraid of stepping out of your comfort zone? You are there, this is not where I'm supposed to be, but you're there, and you keep yourself stuck there. That was me for a very long time. I knew I wanted to step out, I wanted to speak to people, but I was so afraid. I didn't know even how to start it. But I thank God for giving me the grace and the courage and the people who have helped me to step out of that fear and the comfort zone. And if you have lost it, like we have said, you have been afraid, you have been living below your highest self, below who God created you to be, you have messed up, how then do you go back? How do you rewrite that story? You know, our stories are books. They are chapters, they have chapters to be read every day. If you're a student now, that is your school chapter. If you're a parent now, it's your parent chapter. And so every day, when you wake up in the morning, a pen is put on paper because you're writing your story. What story are you writing? And if you've already messed up, you have written a wrong story, how can you then rewrite that story? Ask yourself these questions. What do you value most? What are your values? What do you live for? What are these things that you hold so high? For example, for me, I value my family. You know, if you can hit many things, but when you touch family, utaanza kukosana. Because I put a lot of value in that, of course not above God. When do you feel most fulfilled? What is that one thing? I said yesterday, for me, when I'm talking to a client or somebody who needs my help, and then I see them raised, that to me is the most fulfilling thing on earth. What fulfills you? That's how you actually get to know this is what I am wired to do on earth. And if fear wasn't holding you back, what would you do? If fear was not a factor anywhere in your life, we have talked about fear in the morning, and by the way, fear is an acronym. It stands for false, for F, evidence, for E, appearing real. False evidence appearing real. You know, fear comes from stories you have told yourself again and again. Most of them are lies, and then they become true to you. And so you begin to live as though, it's like if you started imagining a lion imetokea pale kwa gate, and you sat down and imagined again and again, we will see you run away because you will create a lion that is not there. And that's what we do. We create lions that are not there in our lives. So if fear will not hold you back, what is that one thing you would do? And I want us to write this down. Write that one thing that you have always wanted to do, but you have been afraid of doing. You know you really want to do this one thing, but you are afraid of doing. What would that one thing be? So the first step to going back to your highest self is knowing yourself. The second step is going back to your roots. Find out how you lost track. Who taught you how to fear and doubt yourself? Remember, we came here as blank computers, so somebody must have taught you. Either somebody told you you're not good enough, or somebody told you you can't make it, or somebody told you that dream is too big for you. I know somebody who was told, huwezi kuwa daktari, medicine is too expensive, we can't afford that. You are told, this is too expensive for us. Who taught you how to doubt? Is it your parent? Is it a caregiver in your life? Somebody who should have spoken life to you, but then they spoke doubt and they spoke fear. Are there things you're willing to learn to? Are there things you're willing to learn? Like what we've been learning over this weekend? Have you picked things that you're willing to learn? Are there things you need to unlearn that you have learned but now you put them aside and learn new things. And are there things you need to relearn? You had learned them, you forgot them, now you need to go back to the basics. I encourage us to stop downplaying ourselves and reach a point where we honor who we truly are. So, because of time, let me rush through this. Every day that you live, learn to say no to things that don't align with your values. Learn to say no. Remember, we have said no is a complete sentence. You don't owe anyone an explanation. Once you say no, I'm not going, I'm not coming, that's enough. You don't owe anyone an explanation. Be honest with yourself. Sometimes people lie to everybody until they begin to lie to themselves. Be honest with yourself. How am I feeling about this? What exactly do I want? And tell yourself the truth. When you don't agree with someone or something, speak it out. Be courageous enough to speak it out. And that will be honoring yourself. Set boundaries. This has been mentioned. We set boundaries. This is important to remember. Your energy is like a phone battery. Huwa inaisha. You must protect it to keep functioning. Where are you focusing your energy every day? Are you focusing it on things that destroy you or things that make you? And then take action. Begin to do that one thing every day. Tabi told us yesterday that they are doing, was it a gratitude or an affirmation challenge? Yes. What is that one thing you can do every day to become that highest version of you? If you are living your highest version, how would you speak? Assuming today you are the president of this nation, how would you speak? Why can't you begin to speak like that now and not wait until tomorrow? If you're to choose the best kind of food to eat, what would that be? Would you wake up every day and pick mandazi, or would you pick a fruit instead? How would that version of you speak to others? Would you be willing to forgive? There are things that are hard and impossible to forgive, but are you willing to let go of such things for you to get to that version of you? And so I just want to give us a challenge that every day of your life, ask yourself, before you do something, before you say something, am I honoring my highest self? Who exactly is speaking right now? Is it the fearful me, the full of doubt me, or it's that best version of me? Are you honoring that version? I do that when I want to eat. Sometimes I have a bowl of chips here and a bowl of fruits here. Who do you think the highest version of me would choose? You say chips. Yes, the highest, but it's not easy because chips always look delicious. So, but every day we can move towards that high version of ourselves. And so, in closing, I just want us to do one little exercise. And we know that the best gift we can give to ourselves is live our highest self. Because that is what the world needs. The world needs you exactly as you are. You are an original, you are not a copy. And the world does not need any other copy. You are here by design, you're not a mistake. If something has made you feel like you are a mistake, Now that is the mistake. Thinking you are a mistake is the mistake itself. So you are here by design. And you shouldn't ever be afraid of being different. What you should actually be afraid of is being the same as everyone else when you are born to stand out. We were all born to stand out. There is that one thing that only you came on earth to do. God saw a need, placed you on earth to come and fulfill that need. The question is, are you going to be willing to fulfill it? And so, let not your yesterday define you. Mercy has just told us she's not allowing her yesterday to define her. She's allowing her today and her tomorrow to be what defines her. And so I want us to do one simple exercise. I want us to place our hands on our chests and close our eyes. And I want us to repeat this after me. Say, I am worthy. I love me. I deserve the best. I am amazing. I am love. I attract love. I am strong. I am special just as I am. I am powerful. I am enough. I am victorious. I am the best. I am worthy of living the life true to myself. I am God's perfect masterpiece, handpicked by the Creator of the universe. I am a child of the Most High God, handpicked by the Creator of the universe. I am loved. Take a deep breath and breathe out. Open your eyes. How did that feel? And why can't you tell that to yourself every day? I finish with a verse in Isaiah 43:18-19. Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing, now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the desert and streams in the wastelands. So God is here to do a new thing in our lives. It's a weekend of change. Let's go out there and honor our highest self. Ask yourself, who did God put me here to be? Go get your childhood photo. Look at it every day and ask yourself, how did I come on earth? And how exactly am I now? And where do I want to be? And I believe that if we truly commit ourselves to finding our real self, who exactly God put us on earth to be, we will be happy, we will find life being worth living and meaningful to us, and even to those around us. And I look forward to years from now, when all of us seated here will have taken that version, a powerful version, and we will say that weekend of change changed my life for the better. God bless you.